we doing, everyone, and welcome to episode 15 of Talking to Mod. This week we have football hard man Danny Kedwell. I remember playing against Danny in a charity game, and I'm sure the story will come up. It's quite a funny one. I'm not sure whether to bring it up because it was embarrassing on my behalf, but listen, you're going to have to listen to the show to see if we do. So sit back, relax, and enjoy episode 15 with Danny Kedwell. Here he is. Oh, fuck. There's the table. Here we go.
I need to turn it around, don't I?
Oh, he's had Here he is. Go on, son.
Exactly.
Well, listen, that's 2 minutes past, mate. That's a fine in my books, mate.
Mate, look, I've just done some coaching. First team, set pieces. I'm going to go and do the set pieces quickly.
Oh, top man. Listen, I appreciate your time anyway. I'm only messing about with you. You well?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. You?
Getting there, mate. I'm getting there. I'm still waiting for that kebab you promised me at Shisha or whatever it was. But anyway, this is like just a general chilled out chat about your footballing background. What I want to know is, how did you get involved in football in the first place, mate?
I don't know, really. When I was a youngster, obviously my dad was playing like local football and stuff, and I used to just go and watch him all the time. So that's how I got into it, really. Just watching him, and from day one, I used to train with them. They were men, and I was like 6 or so, and I used to just jump in and on my own. And they used to tell me to get off, but I used to just do what I wanted.
You still do, don't you?
Yeah, I still do, mate. Yeah.
Do you remember your first pair of football boots? I had Kit Simons on here recently, and he remembers his first pair. It was a pair of Patrick. You remember them?
Mine were Gola from Woolworths.
These were from Woolworths as well.
Yeah, Woolworths, mate. Gola.
Decent,
my first
man.
Boot.
That's decent.
Yeah.
So, would you say you always had a ball at your feet at a very young age, and that was what your goal was? You just wanted to be involved in football one way or another.
Yeah, always, mate. And obviously, when I was younger, we used to have a wall outside my house, and every time I got home from school or whatever, I used to have a ball kicking up against the wall on my own for hours. It's just what I used to do all the time. So people probably driving past going, "Look, this nutter," but yeah, it was good. It was good. It's listen, it's what you do as a kid. Do you know what I mean? You don't see that nowadays, do you? Do you know what I mean? So but that's what I used to do every day. Everywhere I went, I used to have a ball in my hand.
Brilliant, man, brilliant. Who was your footballing hero growing up?
To be fair, it was probably between Ian Rush, my early days, Ian Rush, because I'm a Liverpool fan. And then I got to about 14, 15, and Alan Shearer. Loved just the way he played, and that's how I used to go off, really.
Yeah.
Alan Shearer sort of style of like myself. Do you know what I mean? Target man, score goals, good in the air. Do you know what I mean? So it was, just fight for him, really.
For youngsters who are like really want to get into the game, you know, say similar to yourself when you were a young age, you had a ball, you were kicking it against the wall. But what advice would you give to youngsters in this day and age, mate, who want to try and pursue a career in football? Just
work hard. Just carry on. Like it's different to obviously my days now, and obviously I'm coaching myself, and it's different mentality kids nowadays. Do you know what I mean? It's all about how fit you are and how many kilometres can you run in a game and things like that. I mean, we didn't have that in our day, so it's different, very different. It's scientifically different. So they just got to keep doing what the progress is like nowadays. You know what I mean? You just work hard, and every day's different because you go to clubs or academy boys as well. They go to clubs and manager don't like them. It's all about opinions, and that's one way where you just got to go, look, listen, just keep going. And just everything you want to do in life, it would happen. If you want it really that bad, you'll get it. That's the mentality I had. People used to doubt me, say you ain't never going to make it. Do you know what I mean? Because obviously at 16, 17, like you find drink, don't you? You go out, your mates, clubbing, and everyone's like, you love a night out more than your football. And I always said, I'll make it. Believe me, I'll make it. And because I knew I would. And I did so. That's the mentality they got to have. If you believe in yourself, you will do it. It's like anything in life, not just football, anything, isn't it? So if you believe in something and work hard at it, it will happen.
I think that's a great answer there, Danny. And similar to yourself, I believe in myself and the career that I chose, and I'm my biggest fan because, like you said, if you don't believe in yourself, don't expect someone else to believe in you. Then
No, exactly that, mate. It's all about opinions. All about opinions. Like there's players that obviously I've been coaching now for a long time, and obviously I've managed a club and assistant manager at Chatham, and it's all about opinions. My view of I don't fancy someone, the manager does, and I don't. It's just how football is. But I like people proving me wrong. I've proved a lot of people wrong in my life in football. Like I said earlier, they didn't believe I'd make it. So that's the mentality these young boys got to have. They've got to have that. They've got to prove people wrong sometimes, and they will if they really work at it.
I suppose that's a bit similar to is it Adebayo Akinfenwa, because he was so big. No one thought he would make it as a footballer, did he? And he went on, and similar to yourself, what you just said, just proved all the doubters wrong.
And listen, I played with him at Gillingham myself. Me and Bayo was up front. A lot of teams didn't fancy that. Me and Bayo up top, to be honest. But listen, when you play with him, you don't realise how good he is. Like his touch, he's obviously a big boy, and he could move. People probably think he could move. He could actually move. So yeah, he's had to prove people wrong, and he's had a great career. Do you know what I mean? He's had a big career, and he's a good lad as well, top lad, and especially with the young lads, always look after them, acknowledge them. So yeah, he was better than what probably people think. Because first time I see him come in training, and he done this touch, and his feet was so quick. I was like, oh my god. Do you know what I mean? So obviously I played with him for a whole year, and yeah, he's like you say, he's had to prove people wrong, and mate, it's what it is. Do you know what I mean?
I tell you now, if I was a defender and I looked on the team sheet and I saw you and him together, I wouldn't have even put my boots on and come out on the pitch, mate. I wouldn't have fancied it at all.
No, there was a few times in the dugout, in the tunnel. Sorry, in the tunnel, we'd always walk out together at the back.
Oh,
so I dread what people probably thought. Oh my god, what a day we're going to have here.
Talking of that, do you remember we played in a charity game together at Gillingham, I think it was?
Yeah, mate. And you decided to run across me as I was doing a diag.
Mate, do you know what? Right?
Knocked you clean out, didn't it?
There's actually a video in there, right? And I think someone, was it on like one of the local news things or something? They said something about, Ben Taylor, aka the Magic Mod, was probably feeling this. And I remember, right, you went across it, well, like you said, diagonal ball across, and I thought, I'm going to throw myself in this, right? I mean, probably going to make a twat of myself. I remember it hitting me, and I thought, I felt like I've been hit by a car, right? And then I thought, right, I'll play up, because the crowd obviously thought, oh God, he's going to milk it. So I remember I went to go up to you like for a laugh and shake your hand and say, are you all right? Right? And I got near you, and I just went on the floor as if you headbutted me, and the crowd were like, in the same game, right? I remember one of our players who we had up front, I can't think who it was, it might have been that boxer, Ben. He was one-on-one with the goalkeeper, right? And I can't think who you had in goal. Was it the ladies' goalkeeper, I think?
Might have been.
Sure it was. I remember I thought, he's got to square it to me. He's got to square it to me. Anyway, he didn't. He went for a shot. The goalkeeper saved it. And it's come towards me at a perfect height. I thought, I'm just going to volley this. I remember volleying it. It went right in the away end. I thought, oh my God, just look down on the floor, mate, as if I always blame the bobble. You've done that a few times, didn't you?
I always do that, mate. Every time I miss.
Talking of it in the onion, though, I mean, you've scored a fair few goals, mate. Have you got one for you that stands out the most?
Do you know what? I've got two, obviously. The Wimbledon penalty to get him back in the Football League.
Yeah.
So that obviously the history of what happened to him, and obviously had to start again from the bottom to score that and to be captain of the club at the time. That stands out massively, obviously. But then the Gillingham one, because it's my hometown, scoring the winning goal against Torquay at home to get us promoted to League One. So them two goals stand out for me. Do you know what I mean? Like, that have always be with me for the rest of my life, really, mate.
Let's touch up on that one for Wimbledon. As you said, the goal to get you back into was it the Football League?
Back to the Football League, yeah.
I mean, that's incredible thinking about it, because I mean everything they've gone through, and I mean I'm sure it's everyone knows about what that club went through. So for you,
Yeah.
what was going through your mind, mate, when you were taking that penalty?
Do you know what? It's mad because when we went to the penalty shootout, I got all the boys together and I just said, this is our time. This is it. So when it actually fell to me to obviously take them up, I was like, oh God, I shouldn't have said that. But do you know what? I actually was so confident. It was really weird. I just knew that what I was doing, where I was going, and I just thought if I hit this properly, he's never going to save it. Do you know what I mean? Because obviously I've always had like a quite hard shot, as you know. So yeah, it was really weird. It felt the longest walk ever though. Like I'm walking up to it from the halfway line, it felt for ages. But yes, once I got there, there was just no nerves or nothing. I just knew that it was it, and obviously it went in. So it was a great day, mate. Great weekend, to be fair, building up to it, which is so good, and obviously doing it like with the club that obviously started again from the fans. Do you know what I mean? They started the club back up, and it was a fans club, and obviously like they're still in the Football League, which is brilliant.
Of course it is, man. Of course it is. You mentioned the walk up from the halfway line to the penalty spot. I've done it, obviously, nowhere near the level you've played, mate, honestly.
Yeah.
But it is literally, like you just said, it is the longest walk of your life, because there's so much going on in your head and you just got to try and focus, haven't you? And
Yeah, you have, mate.
when you're walking up, do you already know where you're going to put the ball, or do you literally just, as soon as you're on the penalty spot, then...
When it comes near me, like if I'm third or, well, I've not always been fifth. I've always liked to go fifth for some reason. I don't know why. But when I'm there and it gets to about the third one, if I know it's roughly going to get to me, I'll say, right, I know where I'm going. Do you know what I mean? I'll make my mind up then, and I'll never change my mind. That's
Brilliant.
That's what I always done, yeah. But in games when I've always been penalty taker, I always think before the game.
Yeah.
If I get a penalty today, I'm smashing it down the middle, I'm going to go right or left. Do you know what I mean? I've always been done that obviously from in the changing room before I walk out. I know where I'm going, because nine times out of 10, when you change your mind, mate, do you know what I mean? You always miss, and that's what I learned from a younger age. I never used to think about it, and as I'm walking up, I'm going that corner, and I change my mind in the last minute, and then I end up missing. So yeah, never change your mind. That's a good thing.
Good man. Good
People can learn from.
Now, you've been in some fantastic battles with teams over the years. Is there a player who stands out for you which gave you the worst day of your life? Is there one, like a real... Basically, let me change the question. Who's the hardest opponent you ever played against?
The hardest. Do you know what? It was probably coming towards his end of his career. And it felt like I met my match. If you know what I mean? Like I used to throw elbows around and be horrible and stamp on them and all that. And that definitely ain't one there. Callum Davis, he definitely ain't one. No, he's probably an easy centre half I could play against.
Back pocket.
Probably Guy Branson, to be honest.
Right.
He was at Torquay at the time, and I remember walking out with him and like in the tunnel, and he was massive. His head's massive, and yeah, I got out there and he was stamping on me. He was grabbing me. He was pinching me. He was like headbutting me in the back of the head. So yeah, that was probably like one of the toughest physically, I'd say. And then probably, listen, I think technically and physically and all that was probably Harry Maguire when he was a young age at Sheffield United.
Yeah.
He was at Sheffield United as a young player. I was at Gillingham. To be fair, he passed the ball back, under hit it, and I run through and scored. So that was
he still had one of them in his locker.
Yeah, still had one of them, mate. He still had one of them in him. But yeah, but you could see he was going to be a good player. He was only like 19 at the time, I think, or 18. But he had everything, mate. You could tell he could hit it, he could play, he could run with it. He was quick. Do you know what I mean? Like, I tried to run him a couple of times, and he just shoved me out of the way. Do you know what I mean? With his pace and. But yeah, he was probably my most technical, and that you could see that he's got everything. Do you know what I mean?
Talking about players who got everything, just how good is Jude Bellingham?
Oh, he's a joke. I watched it last night, and it just looks easy for him, doesn't it? At the minute, he's going to be class, mate.
It is the way he plays the game. Like any youngster who wants to sort of get into football or anything like that, because as you said earlier on, you don't see many people kicking a ball up and down the street anymore. When I was a kid, that's all we did. These days, they're more into their game consoles and flipping whatever. But like watching him, I mean, youngsters should try and watch him and try and imitate what he does on the concrete outside, I tell you, because it literally, like you said, he is a joke of a player, and he will go, I'll give it a few years, maybe next year or whatever, he'll end up being the captain of England, and he will go on to, I think he'll win everything. He's that good. Yeah. And, I mean, he is a joy to watch, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly. He's got everything, mate. Like you say, he can run, he's contribution to everything. He's just got everything, and he kicks the ball tight. He just gets in good areas. He gets in tight areas he can get out of. He scores. Do you know what I mean? It's everything a mid you want for as a midfielder, didn't you?
100%.
But look, listen, it's lucky England have got him, didn't they? So it's a good thing. It's a good
100%, mate. 100%. What about? Let's change it up a bit. Who's the best player you've played with?
Played with. Probably partnership. Probably Johnny Mayne. We had the best like partnership at Wimbledon. We just knew each other's game. It didn't matter what. We just knew each other. Best partnership, definitely him. But probably midfield, probably Andy Drury. Things he used to do. Things he used to do with the ball, mate. It's like, wow. Do you know what I mean? But he was like me, come late. Do you know what I mean? He come late into the game, a bit like me professionally. But yeah, things he used to do. And listen, I played with him last year, still here, and I still think watching him play. Obviously, I was assistant manager, and watching him play, it was like things he does and that with the ball is just like, oh my god. Do you know what I mean? So he's probably one of them as well.
Do you still get involved a bit, Danny? Do you still play a bit? Like, would you put yourself on, or is it just purely coaching and that now?
No, I have a couple of games, mate. I played 2 this year, scored 1. So yeah, I pick and choose them. Yeah, and I'm 40 now, and it hurts. So it takes me 2 weeks to recover.
Listen, mate, Barry Ailes is 51, and he's still knocking them in, isn't he?
Yeah, mate. I know. Yeah, I'll go as long as I can, mate. But I think it ain't too long, mate. It ain't too long. Like the knees are proper hurting now.
Bless you, man. Bless you. What about grounds, in terms of football grounds? Was there a ground that you hated going to just for the pure, maybe you thought, oh, we're going to have a really hard one today? Or was it more of the atmosphere was intimidating?
Do you know what one always stuck in my mind was Bradford.
Bradford. I've been there a few times.
Yeah. Just the change rooms, mate. You couldn't move. It's so small. It's like you're touching knee to the other player. That's how small it is.
The away end weren't much better, mate, I tell you.
Nah. And I don't know why. We always played them in the winter. Like, always played them in the winter, so it made it even worse. Like, the pitch weren't great. I think they played a bit of rugby there, I think, once. One year I played those, I don't know, something was going on. The pitch was awful. But it's just one of them grounds, that I always hated to go to. Just hated it, like just the whole thing. But it's a great stadium, though. That's the thing. It's like it's a big stadium. So but yeah, just one of them grounds, mate. Just one of them.
And of course, we all know music plays a big part in the football, in like getting ready for it. The dressing room's pumping. You need to get prepared.
Yeah.
What sort of music would you be listening to before a game, mate?
Do you know what? I'm not a very like that sort of player, and I'll just switch off and concentrate on my own game. I let all the other players put their music on. Like, some of it I don't even know. I've never heard it. You know what I mean? Like, especially nowadays. You know what I mean? Especially these days, mate. I'm like, what song is that? But yeah, I didn't really get involved with music, and really, I was always like focused on football, like the game. I've never really got involved in that. Unless we won or something, I'll just dance or something. I didn't even know. Do you know what I mean? I just like everyone jumping around. I jump around with them. I ain't got a clue. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I never really, nothing really pumped me up or I'd listen to, really, mate. I wasn't one of them sort of players, really.
Some of the music that people listen to these days is absolutely diabolical, mate. Isn't
I know, mate. I know. Most of the players nowadays, you go on a coach, you don't even hear them because they've just got their headphones on. It's all headphones, isn't it? It's just quiet.
That's something I want to talk to you about. I mentioned it with Kit, and it seems these days players, after a game back in when Fulham won promotion and Kit was there, they said the players were all out. There was like a unity. It was one big family, and I think these days, you don't really see that, the players going out together and sort of bonding in. I mean, of course, we know camera phones and all sorts. You can do after stuff you used to be able to do, but it just seems that it's just more. They're all wrapped up in their own little world rather than bonding in with the others. Do you get what I mean? Yeah,
it's not. Listen, when I was playing, used to go training after training on a Tuesday night when we was like non-league, especially. You'd all going out for a beer after. Do you know what I mean? Nowadays you can't do just going straight home. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The bonding's not as much as what it used to be in the olden days, but you can't now. This is the thing. Football's changed, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? I used to go out on a Friday night and play on a Saturday. Do you know what I mean? You can't do that no more. Do you know what I mean? At 17, 18. But that's what people used to do, didn't they? Do you know what I mean? You just can't do that nowadays. You can't.
No.
Like, I couldn't do it now. I couldn't go out on a Friday and play Saturday. I'd be done. But football's changed, mate. It's just you just don't do them these days, do you? Like, even after training, everyone's home and drink your proteins and that now, innit? Proteins, and make sure you get the right foods down here. And
right.
Do you know what I mean? It ain't like going for a kebab after training, like in the olden days, and a beer. Do you know what I mean?
Totally different. You wouldn't get that now, mate, could you?
No, you wouldn't, mate. You wouldn't get that now. You get lynched.
Let's talk about your young lad, though. Is he down at Charlton? And you went and saw him the other day against, was it he played against Crawley?
Crawley, yeah.
Was it 3-2?
Yeah, he was on the bench. Yeah, they lost. He was on the bench for the first team at 18, which is good.
Fantastic.
So yeah, he's coming along, mate. It's a good thing that he's been in and around it at his age. So but listen, like I say, he's got to keep working hard, and his chance will come. He's a good player. He's very technically very good, very comfortable on the ball. He's a winner, which is a bit different these days with these kids. He's an actual, like, he plays how he trains. He trains how he plays. Sorry. So yeah, he's just got to keep going, mate. Yeah, he's got a good chance. Good chance.
That must be something, you must be so proud, though, to be able to watch your son, and not only that, for him to be doing what you love to do. To see your boy playing at a decent level at his age must be amazing, mate.
Yeah, it is, mate. It is, and it's hard. It is hard because you try and, like, when it's your own son and you try and give him a bit of advice, it's the wrong advice all the time. Shut up, Dad. Do you know what I mean? So you got to like mirror it out a bit. Do you know what I mean? So it is hard. It is hard because I try and not get on him. I don't get on him at all. Do you know what I mean? But I just try and guide him. Don't get involved with girls and going out and stuff like the old, like, normal stuff. Do you know what I mean? He's got a footballing career to do, which he has. He does. He's football mad. So yeah, he's good. But listen. It's down to him now. It's down to him. He's 18 now. He's got to learn his own way. Do you know what I mean? He's got to push himself and do what he's got to do. And we see how it goes. And
now I know we've touched up briefly. You do your coaching now. I actually coach a team down in Belfast where I am.
Yeah.
And I'm enjoying it because my knees were gone years ago, mate. Yeah. I couldn't play. I mean, you saw me in the charity game, mate. I couldn't play then. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm enjoying it. It's a different type of buzz, isn't it?
Yeah.
Doing the coaching and that compared to when you were playing. And what's next for you, mate?
Just what I'm doing now, really, and obviously, hopefully, manage again. I managed a bit at Cray and it didn't go too well, but I've been here under Kev at Chatham for the last 3 years, and this is the third year. Got back-to-back promotions. We're top of the league now, so it's good because obviously I'm new to it. Managing is completely different to coaching. Being assistant is much different. It's a bit easier. It's much easier because the pressure ain't on me. It's on Kev. But yeah, I'm learning every day. Do you know what I mean? To try and be the best I can as a manager. And obviously, I think I went into it a bit quick at Cray, too quick, really. So yeah, it was an eye opener. but now I'm getting experience under Kev and seeing what's got to be done and off the field and not just on the field. There's so much work behind the scenes. It's mental as a coaching staff. It's mad what goes behind there to be prepped right for training and games. So yeah, it's exciting. It's good, especially when you win. You work all week, get to a Saturday and you win. It's all worthwhile. Do you know what I mean? But when you lose, it's like double the work again. We've got to go right. We've got to go back to the drawing board and try and get a win again the next game. And then if you lose that one, it's like, oh God. Do you know what I mean? It is stressful. Do you know what I mean? Because you think, where's that next win going to come? And obviously you've got to drop players and put players in, and it's not nice. Do you know what I mean? Seeing players being dropped and stuff. So you've got to mirror it the right way to them. Put it the right way to them as well, so they're not like these. Like I say, these days, mate, they don't play; they get the right hump.
Yeah.
So you've got to put your arm around them and make sure it's for the right reasons. You know what I mean?
100%. Who you got this weekend?
We got Potters Bar away, mate. Yeah, Potters Bar away.
Decent, man. Decent. Well,
yeah.
Danny, I mean, I appreciate your time, mate. I mean, it's
no
long
worries,
overdue having a catch up with you. I mean,
yeah.
You remember, I'm still waiting, as I mentioned before, I'm still waiting for that kebab, mate. You know, wine and dine me, mate.
There's no way I'll come out to Belfast to get a kebab.
Listen, I'll come down to you. That little gaff you told me in, where was it? Chippenham? No, not Chippenham. Essex, somewhere in Essex. That kebab place. Remember you? What's it called?
Oh.
Sheesh, wasn't it? I said,
Sheesh,
mate,
yeah.
I tell you, I was looking at the menu. I thought, oh, I'll have a bit of this. Looked at the prices. I said, yeah, he's definitely paying. Do you know what I mean?
That's a good one. Master kebab, mate. That's unreal. It's up my road.
If you want to be unreal for that price, mate, I tell you, boy. But listen, Danny, I really do appreciate your time, mate. It's very kind of you. And I wish you all the best with the season, mate.
And you, pal. Top man.
Look after yourself. I'll see you soon. Take care,
mate.
man. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Nice one.
Nice moment.
Well, there we go. Lovely fella. Really do like chatting to him. He's a lovely guy. Danny Kedwell. That was episode 15 of Talking to Mod. And next week, we've got Simon Mason. So thank you for joining us and have a good evening.
Everything's a word of some man, fulfill the list and it's gone.